Hey guys, it's Josh from WA Production, and today I'm excited to share with you a new plugin that is available on our store called Mirror from our friends at United Plugins and JMG Sound. So Mirror is really awesome because it takes something that I've done for years and makes it so much easier, way less steps, all done in one plugin, and gives you way more control and options and ways to do this. And basically what I mean is that it creates negative delays, reverse delays, and so you can create anything from a reverse snare sound, a vocal swell, and just some other really cool kind of reverse delay effects. And so I'll show you some examples today of how it works and what you can do with it. As far as the way it works, basically you've got this interface right here, and what it does is the way it can create something that comes before the actual input sound is pretty crazy. It adds basically a fake latency to your DAW, and so the DAW will think that it needs to wait to do playback, but it's actually recording and reversing the sound already and then playing it back. So it's pretty crazy how it works, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. But essentially you've got all these presets. Typically for shorter sounds you want to use a shorter preset, like with an eighth or a quarter. And then for longer sounds, you typically want to use a bar or half or something like that. What Mirror does is it'll split the sound into different chunks based on the time selections that you have here. So you can switch between eighth note, quarter note, half note, full bar, and basically it'll take that amount of time and reverse it before playing your actual source signal. So to hear how it sounds in real life, let's start with this snare sound. Okay, so that's one very quick example. You can hear that I don't have it quite dialed in yet because I haven't changed any of the settings. We're on the initial preset still, and the timing's pretty off there. So what I'm going to do is there's actually a pretty handy reverse snare preset. So we'll take a look at that and see what the settings are for it. Okay, so for this snare, it's still maybe a little too long of a gap, but you can see that it adjusted the time to quarter note, and let's just try it on eighth note. Cool. So you can hear that it's getting closer. What I would like to do is maybe add some reverb, make it sound bigger. So that's pretty cool. Giving it a bigger sound, add some blur. All right, cool. And then you can also throw on a low pass or a high pass on these, so you can filter out some sounds if you don't want them. Let's hear how a little bit of low pass sounds. So you can hear it just low passes that wet frequency range there. So the workflow here is pretty important. As you can see, it doesn't play in real time. This isn't designed for use on real time. You don't just throw a bunch of Mirror instances on different sounds in your mix and just let them play. This is really a sound design trick. So now that we're happy with our effect, we will go ahead and record it. So first, the best way to do this is to turn the dry signal completely off so that now all we have is our reverse snare. Okay, and now what we'll do is we will record it onto this second track. In Ableton, we'll select the input track here, turn it to post effects, and then make sure the recording is on. And now what we'll do is hit record. Cool. So now we've got this reverse right here. It's all timed up correctly. And now what we'll do is we will delete Mirror. This is important because even if you just turn it off, it'll continue to tell the DAW that there's latency. So now you got to remove Mirror. And now let's hear it. Pretty cool. That's so much easier than the previous way of doing it, which would be throw on a big reverb here, kind of guess at the parameters that you want to set, record it, reverse it, and then hope it sounds good. Otherwise, start over again. So this is pretty great because you can really do it kind of in real time, print that to audio, and go from there. So that's a pretty dope effect. All right, so now let's make this vocal swell. I've got Mirror here. I threw on the 1-bar big and verby preset, and I silenced our input signal. So now I'm going to go ahead and record it over here. Let's hear how we do. Okay. So now if we delete the Mirror plugin, let's hear how it sounds. Of course, we can adjust the gain here, which is something we also could have done in Mirror ahead of time. And you can adjust the gain of both the wet and the dry. So pretty cool. Now let's try something similar with our synth shot over here. This is a pretty cool effect. It kind of reminds me of stuff like Above and Beyond would do in their music. So let's see if we can dial in a cool sound here. So I'm thinking maybe a half deep and dark. Sorry, I should have played you what the original synth sounds like. So let me just delete Mirror real quick. That's the original synth. So let's try and make a cool reverse here. Okay, that's sounding pretty good. I think I'm going to blur it a little bit more. Okay. All right, so as always, I'm going to bring the dry down all the way. Let's hear what that sounds like. Okay, and now what we will do is go ahead and record this. All right, now let's delete and see what we've got. Should probably bump up the gain. Pretty cool. So that's a really easy to make reverse swell. And it sounds perfect. Okay, now a little bit more complicated. Let's try a similar thing on a synth melody loop. So this will be more of like a sound design, rhythmic design tool where we're kind of just making some cool sounds. It's not really to make a swell or a reverse snare. We're just going to kind of pick probably a preset that is shorter. I guess let's do Tighten Round. Let's see how that sounds. Again, I should have played you what the original sounds like first. So I thought that was pretty cool with these reverse sounds. Just gives it a bit more rhythm, a bit more interest, interesting parts. So let's go ahead and do our usual strategy of bringing down the dry. We'll go ahead and set up the recording. All right, and let's go ahead and record it. Okay, so now we turn off Mirror and see what we've got. Okay, and finally, let's jump into these hi-hats. It's kind of similar to the last one where it's just more of a let's make something interesting here, add some effect in the background. This is what it sounds like at first. All right, and now if we throw Mirror on it, Let's again choose something short. How about light and airy? Okay, that one's okay. Let's have a listen to thin and crispy. Okay, soft and smooth. I kind of like that reverse effect that it gives, so let's bring down the dry. And we're in business, so now we can record. All right. Now let's turn off Mirror and listen to how that sounds. Kind of cool. So instead of this, kind of makes it sound a little bit more like a shaker because you're bringing it back in reverse. And so there's a lot of cool stuff you can do. I mean, you could now delete the original and just use this, turn it into something new and unique. You can crush it. You can throw it through some saturation. You can do all sorts of cool stuff with it. But really, this tool just makes it so much easier to create those reverse effects, whether it's something simple like a reverse snare, a vocal swell, something like that that is commonly used for transitions and in certain genres, or if you're taking something unique and some sort of pattern and creating something brand new with it. So I hope that this was helpful. I think that Mirror is a really great tool, and we are really excited to have it now on our store because there's really nothing else like it. To go check it out, go to waproduction.com and search for Mirror. It's an amazing plugin, and we think it'll be really helpful for you guys. So I hope this was helpful. Stay tuned for more from us. Have a great one. Bye.